Hello guys, I'm Kiri, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about the rally legend, Lancia Delta Integrale. This car still today is the rally car that won the most Constructors' Championship in a row, 6 times, from 1987 to 1992, and winning 4 times the Drivers' Championship, 1987, 88, 89 and 1991 with Juha Kankkunen and Miki Biasion. Not only that, the car was based for the Group B, another legend, Lancia Delta S4, but this is different story. But why this car was so successful in the rally sport? Let's find now. When Group B was cancelled in 1986, the teams, they knew it already, a rally car to be winning car needed to be 4x4. By the new FIA rules, the engine needed to be 2 liters, with turbo, but with some restrictions, and needed of course homologation. Now, the first 4x4 Lancia car was presented in 1982, and it was a Delta, but this was just a one-off car. So the first Lancia Delta 4x4 car for sale was ready and unveiled at the 1986 Turin Motor Show. Was a 4-cylinder twin-cam 8 valves 2-liter 1995cc turbo with wastegate of course and producing 165 horsepower. So when Group B was cancelled in 1986, the rally car Lancia Delta S4 was skipped. But Lancia already had the replacement, and this was the new 4x4 Lancia Delta HF 4-wheel drive. The car came in the right time, in the right moment, and was designed, the original Delta, by the very famous Italian maestro Giorgetto Giugiaro in 1979, and straight became Car of the Year. So the original, the first generation Lancia Delta was in production from 1979 to 1993, 14 years, very long time in production, but the car was very successful. The second generation, the actual successor Lancia Delta, was presented in 1993, but wasn't that great and they stopped the production in 1999. Then the third generation was presented in 2008, but this was very, very far from the reality. But now let's concentrate on the first generation, the original, because this is the real Lancia Delta. So the normal version Lancia Delta were very popular cars, especially when the model was a rally winning car and the best in this sport for many years. Of course the road cars will be very, very popular for the mass of the people. The road cars were equipped with different engines, all front longitudinally mounted, front-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, from 1.1, 1.3, 1.5, 1.6 liter or 1.6 turbo. This was very cool car as well, Lancia Delta HF Turbo. We're gonna make a video about this car as well. But the most attractive engine was the 2-liter one, the legendary rally engine 1995cc, which was mounted in all Integrale cars, like in the car in front of us today. Was as well a diesel engine for the normal Lancia Delta 1.9, but better don't mention even. The gearboxes, they were 4-speed manual, 5-speed manual or 4-speed automatic for the normal Lancia Delta cars. Now, the Lancia Delta Integrale, it's a small car actually. The wheelbase is 2 meter 475 millimeters, the car is long 3 meter and 900 millimeters, is wide 1 meter 770 millimeters. So this is more than 140 millimeters wider than the standard Lancia Delta. And the car is high just 1 meter 365 millimeters. The curb weight is about 1,320 kilograms. We're talking about Lancia Delta Integrale. It's a bit heavy, but this is because of the 4x4 drive system and the serious equipment. The Integrale versions, by the way, they made in total 44,296 Integrale cars. So imagine how popular was this model. Roughly the same number like the late 80s, early 90s Nissan Skyline GTR R32. So the Integrale version was based on the Lancia Delta HF 4-wheel drive, which we said was unveiled in 1986, and straight jumped into the new 1987 rally season and won 9 of 13 races. Then, 1988, Lancia Delta HF 4-wheel drive started the season, rally season, very good, but after the second race was replaced by the new, much more improved Lancia Delta HF Integrale. Maybe you're wondering what HF mean. Of course, it's from Italian language and stands for high fidelity. This is the meaning of the sports Lancias models, which dated back many years ago. We know another great racing Lancia models, Lancia Fulvia HF, then the legendary Lancia Stratos HF as well. So these are very, very cool letters. Something similar to BMW M series or Mercedes AMG. The Integrale was a different setup drive system than the HF Turbo. It's a 3 differential, front, back and middle, 4-wheel drive turbo, different suspension settings and wheels and tires, of course. The body is different, completely different. How you can see, it's very, very wide body. So it was specially developed to win the rallies. But because every rally car needed to be homologated, and especially for Group A on that time, the requirement was 5,000 cars. That's why this car came on the road, and we can enjoy today at least the view of this amazing shape and design. The first came a Lancia Delta HF 8 valves, so with 8 valve engine, with Garrett turbocharger, bigger intercooler and producing 185 horsepower, so it was 20 horsepower more than the standard HF turbo model. But guys, we're talking about the road versions, 185 horsepower, but with 304 Newton meters, so it was very, very responsive engine. Like all the Lancia Deltas, the Integrale version was with front longitudinally mounted engine, but was available only with 5-speed manual gearbox, so no automatic, no 4-speed, just 5-speed manual gearbox for the Integrale versions. Manual, of course, don't expect something different, it's a rally car on the end, and had permanent 4-wheel drive. The weight distribution wasn't that great, 56% on the front axle and 44% on the rear, but the massive spoiler on the back was helping to stabilize the back end of the car. The braking power was great as well, all 4 corners, disc brakes, and the maximum size rotors, so they can fit inside the wheels. So because this car was very fast, accelerating very fast, so the braking power needs to be very, very, very good as well. But then came the 16 valves engine. The model was renamed to Lancia Delta HF Integrale 16V. Straight, the power went up to 200 horsepower. So the early versions, how we said, was 185 horsepower with 8 valves. Now the 16 valves engine, 200 horsepower, so 15 powers more instead of the 185 for the 8 valve engine. But also they managed to change the weight distribution a little bit, so this time was better than the early ones. And how we can see wider wheel arches and wider tires, of course. Very, very famous with this very, very wide wheel arches, of course, because the car looks absolutely enormous, just very, very cool. And actually the car looks very focused as well, hungry, very focused. So the maximum speed was 220 kilometers per hour or 137 miles per hour. Could reach more, but because of the final ratio and the gearbox, by the way, the car is designed for rallying, not for long straight lines. So 220 kilometers per hour, 137 miles per hour maximum speed. Acceleration 0 to 62 miles per hour or 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 5.7 seconds. This was the numbers for the Lancia Delta Integrale 16 valve. So 220 kilometers per hour, 137 miles per hour maximum speed, 0 to 62, 100 kilometers per hour, 5.7 seconds. This was about Integrale models. But we're not stopping here. Because in 1991, at the Frankfurt Motor Show, was presented the Evolution Lancia Delta HF Integrale Evoluzione. The game became very serious. And the car here in front of us is exactly this version Lancia Delta Integrale Evoluzione. This is the craziest Lancia Delta. After they made another Evo 2, but they are not that different from Evo 1, so just 5 horsepower more. So the Evolution, or Evo 1, was in production just in 1991 and 1992, and was the top of the ice cream. So 210 horsepower, even more, 10 powers more than the normal Lancia Delta Integrale. 210 horsepower from the same 2-liter engine, 4-cylinder inline, turbocharged with Garrett turbo compressor, originally with catalytic converter, so new magnetic Marelli engine management, new exhaust system, reworked suspension, Brembo brakes, new bonnet, how you can see, to accommodate the 16-valve engine, and front and rear bumpers completely different, very big spoiler on the back side of the roof, which you can adjust manually and have 3 different settings actually, and many other updates. This particular car here in front of us today is owned by Anthony from Autosportivo, who run a very successful business with repairing Italian cars, actually especially very cool Italian cars. The original color is green, or let's say verde, but was wrapped in yellow. Why not? Yellow is very cool car. My daily car actually is Fiat 500 and it's exactly this color, this very shiny yellow color. So yellow car really suits very nice to the Lancia Delta Evoluzione. Red color is good as well, but yellow, there are not many yellow cars, so yellow is absolutely fantastic. So guys, I hope you liked the video about this very famous rally legend Lancia Delta Integrale, especially this is Evoluzione model Evo 1. If you like, please subscribe my channel and see you next time guys, bye!